Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush amdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Pakhair Agile, Ni Hao, Chume, Washmale, Ohio, Gonzaimes, Guten Morgen, Hola, Boyor, Privyet, Kaifahal, Halishuma Chatore, Al Masal Marhaba, Buna, Mucho, Gracias, Swabiab, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very super, the very amazing, the very talented Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, today the date is 4th of October 2019 and the day is Friday and it's getting cold over here in Islamabad.
Absolutely.
Hello Shiza, how are you today?
I'm cold, you already mentioned, and it's genuinely winters, ladies and gentlemen, over here in Islamabad. But we're loving it so far. I mean, although, of course, the shift is going to take a little while for us to get used to, but it's all good. Jummah Mubarak to everyone out there, and a very happy birthday to my mom if she's watching.
Wow, Auntie Ji, Janamdin Mubarak ho aapko, a very happy birthday. So are we going to sing her a song as well?
You are.
Oh, come on.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Happy birthday to
you. Happy birthday, Shizaki Mummy. Happy birthday, Auntie Ji. And to every mother out there, it's happy birthday. For everybody who's out there who's actually celebrating their birthdays today, may you live long, may you prosper, may you be better person each and every other day as well.
Absolutely.
But other than that, the country is getting better.
Oh, country's getting better?
Yeah,
How?
and I've got an evidence for that too as well. And the best part that we are actually getting heard.
Oh, wow.
So for all
is
of those
this Naya
things,
Pakistan?
Yeah, this is Naya Pakistan. And for all of those things that we have been talking about,
Yeah.
I think that the government is actually slowly and gradually taking notice of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the news just came in last night, or probably yesterday, where it is mandatory for kids and teachers to pass the drug test before even entering the school. Wow, wonderful. That's what I was talking about. That's what we were talking about as well. And that's and we made sure that every other day we're going to talk about it. And gradually now we are here to witness the results.
Absolutely loving this new transformation. And we're entering into a new phase of improved Pakistan, of course. But since we are talking about things that we keep discussing on our show, today is Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and we are standing in solidarity with Kashmiri brethren. Again, this is a 59th day or almost 60th day that they are in lockdown. They're in a curfew. I cannot begin to explain again the atrocities that they're going through. Everything is on the news. I mean, it's on the World Wide Web as well. I mean, the people who choose to ignore it, that's another case. But we as Pakistanis, as Muslims, every Friday, 12 p.m., stand in solidarity with our Kashmiris and pray for them and observe moments of silence for them.
Exactly, and we definitely want each and everybody who's out there to actually be with us, because I believe that it's a cause which is going to, which I believe is going to take another step or a turn in everybody's life. And ladies and gentlemen, just like our Premier, Mr. Imran Khan, made sure, on every platform he's always made sure to speak about our Kashmiri brethren as well. And I think that this is the kind of dedication which everybody requires to actually find a solution for our Kashmiri brethren as well. So please make sure that you remember each and everybody out there in your prayers as well. But other than that, Shiza, it's not just humans. It's even animals as well, and imagine that, we as humans feel for other humans as well, but we as humans do actually feel for other animals as well.
Of course.
And then I'm very sad to say that there's very less population of the kind of people who are actually very kind to animals anyways, and who actually understand that they have some rights as well. And why not, ladies and gentlemen? I think that for beings who cannot speak up for themselves, we are the ones who should actually be speaking for them. And even in our religion, we have been taught that we really need to be kind to animals as well. And there's a reason why we're talking about it. We want to create a ripple effect because it's World Animal Day today.
Yes.
And we're going to speak for those beings who cannot speak for themselves.
Right, absolutely, Shahzad. And this day is absolutely important for Pakistan and for every other country to observe as well throughout the globe. Because this was a few months ago, Shahzad, I feel like we did mention this story in our show. And we were in shock on how a human can do something like this to an animal. There was a teenage boy, probably a mature guy actually, who was playing with a kitten and actually making a video for more views to get viral on the internet. He was killing a small kitten with his hands. And then, there were a lot of people who jumped on the bandwagon. They were encouraging him, cheering him up, hey, make another video, whatnot. Later on, of course, he was captivated by the authorities. Then there are a lot of people who openly go shooting dogs in Karachi city. Just an example, Karachi, of course, in other parts of the country as well. But good news to that as well. Just today morning, I was reading an article on Dawn, which which said that rather than killing dogs, what they're going to do is vaccinate them against rabies so that people are not, let's say, scared of them anymore, or are not in any sort of danger because of them.
Exactly, and then at the same time, thank you very much for bringing up Karachi as well, because yesterday I heard a press conference where they were saying that they're actually going to kind of take away their capacity to reproduce. So they're actually going to, it's a procedure which is going to take place. It was a recommendation, and if they are actually worried about the growing population of stray dogs, I think that this can rather be a good idea rather than killing them. And ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear. I mean, I'm very clear about this in my life. Nobody gives us the right to even kill an ant, okay?
Absolutely,
so please make sure not to kill any animal, not to hurt any animal. And I'm very close to animals. Ever since I was born, I've been very close to horses, dogs, cats, any kind of animals. I just love them. They're part of nature. And you know what? You actually have to believe me for this.
Okay.
Even if there's a cockroach in my washroom or in my room, I do not kill it. Because I'm like, okay, well, what harm is it going to bring to me?
I don't even kill it, but for different reasons, because I can't go near it. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're talking about how important animals are, but we are so happy that in Pakistan, in the Twin Cities, there are some amazing people working to protect these animals, rescue these animals from any sort of violence going on, and then raise voice for these animals who cannot say anything or speak a word for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about all of this, we've actually been joined with some amazing guests, and the first lady I'm going to introduce has actually been rescuing animals for a longer period of time. At this particular point of time, she's got 46 cats at her house and 4 dogs only. Why 4 dogs? This is something which hurts me, but it's perfectly all right. She's none other than Miss Anila Bilal, and she's a rescuer. She's an animal rights activist as well. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm fine.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. Just one question before I move on to the other guest. And are you sure that all the animals you've rescued are at home and watching our show right now?
Yeah, they are.
They better.
All right, that's great. So alongside her, ladies and gentlemen, we were very lucky that we've actually been joined by somebody who was actually raised and born in the United States of America, but she kind of wanted to research about animals over here within Pakistan as well, and within the zoo, which I know is in shambles, and we really need to do something about it. She's actually currently working for ComSats, doing her own research. She's none other than Miss Katie Sipra, and she's an animal rights activist. Thank you very much for joining us. Hi, how are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. But first things first, let me start the conversation with you. How would you like to highlight the importance of this day?
Well, I think today is a very unique day. As you were saying before, there's a lot of people that don't necessarily view animals as sentient beings, and that is something that this day really tries to highlight.
Right.
And I think in making this a more global thing, the more you tell people, the more they're going to know.
Yeah.
So you use this day as a way to explain to the greater public that animals matter, animals feel, and really a lot of their lives are in our hands.
Exactly. Thank you very much for saying that. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just emphasize on this a little more. So they are a very important part of our ecosystem. So I was watching this documentary which was on Nat Geo, and the documentary was all about a forest where there used to be wolves, but then they went extinct, and then the ecosystem was disturbed. So what they did was that they actually released a pack of wolves into that jungle, and gradually they saw that each and every animal, each and every fruit, and each and every tree was actually blossoming. And we do not know, because of the fact that we do not research, we do not study about things, but each and every being is a part of the ecosystem, and ecosystem works with all of these beings as well.
Right.
Which is why
I need to move on to Anila over here. Now, Anila, you've been doing this for quite some years now. Tell us how you developed this sort of, let's say, need or urge to save these animals, and then you have a number of cats and dogs at your place. Even if you lend them to people, even if people come to take them away from you, the rescued ones, you make sure that you keep a check on them even after years. How are you so connected to them?
Because I think so the animals do have feeling.
Of course.
As we feel when we get hurt, we feel pain. They also feel the same thing. So we have to care for them. And for me, animals are like everything.
Right.
I do care for them. I feel about them. When they get hurt, I know everything, each and everything. So I want the people who want to adopt them also understand these things, that how to keep an animal. It doesn't mean that you have to keep for a few years or months. Just you love kittens, you just keep them for months. And when they get adult, you just abandon them.
Right, absolutely. And Anila, you must know this since you take care of a lot of animals. This is a growing trend, not only in Pakistan, but in different parts of the world as well, where pets are taken for luxury. People are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of rupees or dollars for them, but not really willing to take care of them. I mean, not really willing to keep them in the perfect conditions, like we were talking about huskies in Islamabad. First of all, this is not the right condition to keep them in, and then to make them reproduce every other time, I mean, without looking at their health. It's
because
inhumane.
it's a business. Because people know how to sell them, and they just earn money. They spend a lakhs on them by selling them. And this is not because the animal is suffering. Again, producing can damage her, like the female dog as well. So we should do like a proper. If we are keeping an animal, we should keep properly with a proper environment. If you are keeping husky in this country, you have to keep like in summer you have to keep water coolers, AC for them. This is the proper natural environment you have to provide them. If you can't, then please don't keep them because the animal are suffering. So
I mean, we're just commercializing living things. I mean, that's insane.
We are playing with their lives, I think. So we can say that we are playing with their life because we think that animals are just a showpiece to keep them at home. And people will say that we are having husky, Rottweilers, pugs, and this thing, and we don't know how to manage them.
I've always wanted to have a Chihuahua, though, just for the sake of putting it in my handbag.
Yeah, but other than, you've definitely given us some valid points as well, and this is how it is. And I know that, for pedigree dogs, there's a market out there which is worth millions of rupees over here in Pakistan as well. But just on a very personal level, before we move on to another report, which we really need to share with our viewers, on a personal level, this is something I'm asking you. Is it the same, the way you care for your pets, is it the same that you care for people around you as well?
Yeah, I do care for them. I do care for humans. But my point of view is that human can speak for themselves, but the animal, they can't speak. If anyone hit the animal, he's on the roadside, and no one will understand that how is he feeling right now, how much he is in pain. So only those can understand who have the feelings for the animal, and I do have the feeling for the animal.
That's great, and you know what I'm supposed to say is, cute.
This is one of the protests you held outside Islamabad Zoo.
We are doing some awareness camps.
So please tell us about this, what's happening, and I can even see Mishi Khan over there. Mishi, great job done. Thank you very much. It's always wonderful to see people who actually represent a larger group.
She all the time stand with us. Whenever there is a protest, when there is an animal right program, she always stand with us. Because she's an animal lover. She's also rescuing dogs from street animals. She is having right now 7 dogs in her flat. She stays in Baria, and it's very difficult for her to keep, but she have kept them as a pet.
Amazing. We need more people like that. But ladies and gentlemen, right now we have an amazing report, an informative one to share with you. When we come back from that, we are going to talk to Katie about, zoos, Islamabad Zoo specifically, and the concept of zoo. I mean, is it really a thing that we should be having? Let's take a look at this and then come back.
Yeah, because I have a difference of opinion.
Okay.
October 4th is World Animal Day, a day to celebrate animals and raise awareness for their welfare in the world. The lives of animals are deeply affected by each and every one of us. Thus, effective animal protection policies are something we must have. World Animal Day was created by Heinrich Zimmermann, the German editor, writer, and protection activist. He organized the first World Animal Day on March 24, 1925 in Berlin to start the movement for the prevention of animal cruelty. Later, the date was changed to October 4th, as it is the day dedicated to Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of ecology, including animals. World Animal Day is an annual global event that unites the animal protection movement. Over 5,000 people attended this first event. Initially, he found a following only in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Czechoslovakia. October 4th is World Animal Day, a day to celebrate animals and raise awareness for their welfare in the world. The lives of animals are deeply affected by each and every one of us. Thus, effective animal protection policies are something we must have. World Animal Day was created by Heinrich Zimmermann, the German editor, writer, and protection activist. He organized the first World Animal Day on March 24, 1925 in Berlin to start the movement for the prevention of animal cruelty. Later, the day...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we just wanted to share a brief history about World Animal Day as well, which goes back to 1925, Heinrich Zimmermann as well. He was a German. And Henrik, I don't know whether you're around or not, but you've definitely done a great job in making the world know that animals are very important, not just for the ecosystem, but for themselves, you know. And they have families too as well. I've seen a lot of animals looking after their babies, just like mothers do. So imagine that they might have the same heart like our mothers. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all be beings in the first place. And then let's be humans by looking after all of these people.
All right. So this was probably last month or even a few days before that, Shahzad. The social media of Islamabad and Rawalpindi specifically was taken over by the news that the bear in Islamabad, which is Islamabad Zoo actually, which has been there for quite a lot of years, was not in a very good condition. He was probably sick to look at. I mean, he was not even healthy enough to walk around or play around or, you know, entertain the viewers. But what happened with that? I mean, of course, there were news coming up that he was sick, but tell us all about it.
Right. So there are two Himalayan brown bears currently at the zoo. They are what we've been told is it's a mother-daughter, or a mother-son, I'm sorry, pair. And they were living together in a larger enclosure.
Okay.
And the son and mom had gotten into a fight which injured the mother.
Oh.
So she was separated and put in an enclosure that had a shift door, because it's necessary when you're dealing with carnivores to have an area for them to go in so you don't have to clean their enclosure with them inside with you.
All right.
So that's why she was in that pit, I call it. She had a wound on her face and foot, I believe.
Yeah.
And one of our volunteers actually discovered a lump on her chest, which turned out to be a tumor, which was removed by a vet who came into the zoo. And since then, she has been separated, still in that enclosure. As far as her healing, she should be back to normal by now. However, when you go to the zoo on a daily basis, you can see her doing this stereotypic behavior, which is what we in the zoo field know as a behavior that is repeated over and over again, and it serves no purpose.
Okay.
So for her, she goes back and forth on her front legs.
Yeah.
For Kavan, the elephant, he sways his head. You'll see that. For other animals, it's just pacing back and forth along the enclosure fence. So we can see that there are issues there still with the bear. I'm hoping that through better management, we can improve her situation.
Of course.
I think enrichment, which is just something new that animals get on a daily basis, would really help in her case, because it's just something that improves your mental, stability. It's just something for her to do.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, we've been going to the zoo ever since we were kids, right? There used to be tigers, leopards, and whatnot. And you specifically happen to be working for snow leopards. And there used to be some amazing number of snow leopards in the north in Pakistan as well. What sort of numbers are we looking at right now? What are the living conditions? Are we headed towards an extinction? Are they safe? Tell us all about it.
I'm currently working on a snow leopard population project in my university at ComSats. We, as a country in Pakistan, have approximately 300. There's a range between like 220 and 450 or so. The problem is they are very difficult to study.
Okay.
So they are one of the most elusive cats there are. They have rugged terrain, that's steep mountains, it's cold. It's not very pleasant unless you're a snow leopard. So I was able to go up north just in April last year, which is a good time to go for me, but for the snow leopards, they're not there.
Okay.
But their terrain is insane. I was climbing on the mountains, you're up in the Himalayas, and it's just steep. it's just a wall.
Oh,
It's
which
like,
reminds me, actually, you know, I came across a video. This is extra information, ladies and gentlemen. This was from BBC, since you're talking about the terrain and, you know, the steepness. Ibex, markhor that we know, I mean, they need these sort of minerals that are produced in those steep mountains or hills in those areas. And they would do anything to reach those steep mountains. I mean, imagine such a huge animals on such small hooves climbing the steep mountain just to stand there and lick on those minerals to get this energy. It's
incredible.
amazing.
Yes,
It's amazing.
They have specialized feet that
Yeah.
help them do that, so their hooves are split in the middle,
Yeah.
so they
Oh,
kind
right.
of are able to almost grasp the rock when they're climbing.
Well, that's great. But you know, very quickly, we actually need to look for solutions as well. For all of those animals roaming around the streets, what do you think is the best solution for that?
I think so. They should not be killed. Poison is very
That's
easy
the point. That's the
solution.
point. You know, there's
We
no other
should
discussion
get
other than
them,
that.
yeah.
But what do you think we need to do about
We
it?
should get them trapped,
Okay.
neuter, vaccinated, and release them back.
Okay.
This is the basic.
So that even if they hurt somebody, it's not going to give them a lot of damage,
Yeah,
or it's not
because
going to
they
be.
will be vaccinated and they will not like
No,
bite
but in the
anyone.
first place, what I want to know is that why are we even going to that level where we are saying that okay, we are going to vaccinate them, that even if they bite somebody, it's not going to be of any harm. We do not want them to bite, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what the problem is.
Yeah, they will not get hyper if we will get them neutered.
Okay.
They will not get hyper because the male create hyperness because if we will not neuter them.
Alright.
So I think so we can trap them, neuter and vaccinate and release them, and we should like tag them on the ear.
Okay.
So everyone should know that this dog is properly vaccinated and in record it's like neuter and
Yeah,
tagged.
that's a great idea.
I think so this is the proper solution the
Are you
government
guys working
should
on it
follow.
though? Have you guys proposed this idea to the authorities?
Whatever I'm rescuing, the animals, they all are neutered and spayed and
wow.
vaccinated.
And for all the animals you have, I know for sure that there are a lot of people who actually would love to adopt, you know, all of those animals which you have, which you've rescued. So if there's any email address, if there's any contact number to check on that, please go ahead, share that with all our amazing viewers who are out there.
Or do you have a
who love
Facebook
animals.
page?
Yeah, I do have Facebook page, like it's Critters Ark Welfare Organization, but there are few requirements for adoption.
Yeah,
what
They
are-
will
what are those
fulfill the requirements, then I will
Share
get
with
that.
Yeah, what are the requirements?
They have to keep the pet for a lifetime,
Okay.
whether they are having allergies, they are getting married, or whatever the reason is. Because pets are like babies, I think so, and they are family members.
Yeah.
If you are keeping them, you have to keep every check and balance like you are having a kid.
Yeah,
You have to get them vaccinated, you have to get them neutered and spayed.
yeah,
Neuter and spayed is must because you can't use them for further breeding purpose.
exactly.
Because people make this as a business, they sell
Yeah.
the Persian cats, dogs,
Right,
and they
and
make it a
violates their
business.
organs as
yeah.
well, yes.
So I can visit there on whenever I want to see them.
You'll be a great
Oh,
guest to
okay.
have,
Yeah, I want monthly updates like pictures.
Wow.
They're kept in good
Now,
condition.
are you
whatever.
actually giving the pet to them, or you lending them that, you know, okay, you know,
Giving
every
away.
month you actually need to let me know.
Because I'm not charging them anything.
Yeah.
I just want a pet safety.
Okay.
Oh,
And
okay,
I
that's
think so
amazing.
this
And you're
is-
ensuring that.
Yeah.
That's great.
For this, it's important.
All right.
Because if they will follow these things, they can keep the pet happily. And the
Perfect.
most important thing, who can afford the vet fees.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that is
expenses,
so important,
because that's
absolutely.
very important.
Yeah, and this is one thing which I actually wanted to say or talk about as well, ladies and gentlemen, that please make sure that you do not turn yourselves into being doctors.
Yeah.
Whenever your pet is sick, always take them to a professional, always take them to a veterinary, because they know what to do. You know, for all those people who've been giving, you know, different kind of medicines from their own fridge, please do not do that with animals. They have different requirements.
Absolutely.
But very quickly with you, Katie, so they say that now the kind of extinction which is going to take place about all of these species is going to be on a level where back in the days they actually referred to, you know, when the dinosaurs actually got extinct as well. What do you think that the world needs to do today?
I think that it's a serious issue. You're right. A lot of people are referring to this time period as the 6th mass extinction. And humanity has a lot to do with that. So the rate at which the environment is changing is dramatic.
It is.
And animals are not able to adapt to these conditions. And that's why we're seeing the rise in the extinction level. So I am of the opinion that everyone can make a difference.
Right.
I think it's silly to say, I'm just one person, what does it matter?
It does matter.
Everything matters. You know, even if you are just one person you know, even if you are just one person and you say consciously drive efficiently, you know, it's just one person and it's just reducing your emissions a little. But if everyone did it, you know, you can't
such
just
a huge
think,
impact.
oh, I'm just one person. If everyone thinks that, then no one's going to do it.
Exactly.
Right.
We can make a difference, and we just have to be conscious of what we're doing with our actions on an everyday life, in our everyday life.
Exactly.
So using plastic bottles. Plastic is a huge contaminant in the oceans, killing fish, killing whales, killing birds.
Everything.
Stomachs are full of plastic.
Even land animals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just humans are a huge issue. If we were just more conscious of our actions, it would make a big difference.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much for being here, you amazing ladies. And you know, since you mentioned this, I think it's really important to say that since 1970 up till 2013, 53% of the total population of amphibians, reptiles, you know, all sorts of animals were reduced. Shahzad, we're just looking at almost 30 to 35 years. And imagine, even after that, I'm pretty sure the number is going down, and this is all because of unsustainable human development, population growth, I mean, urbanization, deforestation, so many things that we are creating, I mean, a mess for animals.
Exactly.
So, I mean, let's be responsible.
Thank you very much for saying that. And on another note, ladies and gentlemen, almost 57 to 59,000 people die of rabies annually every year. So we really need to do something about that. And yeah, everybody's life is important. Every species' life is important.
Yeah.
But today, I'm actually going to dedicate this day to one of my very beloved pet, Roxy, who is no more. And it was just because of the fact that the veterinaries over here are not even that professionals. They took her in, and they took her in for almost 10 days. And then towards the end, they said that there's no hope as well. And then I believe that there really needs to be a helpline for all the pets which have been stolen by other people. Because as soon as we reach the police station and tell them that our dog's stolen, they actually put a smile on their face and they're like, we cannot get our hands onto humans. Why are you talking about dogs?
That's
it is
crazy.
very heart-wrenching. It is. I cannot actually explain to you because she actually used to love to sit in my lap while I drive, you know, just sleep besides me as well. They are like family members, and I cannot explain it to you. So the feeling's different, but as soon as you reach the police station, tell them somebody stole your dog. Oh, your dog? Ha ha ha. But that's not funny, okay?
I know,
Please make
right?
sure to cooperate with people who actually come in with such kind of queries.
Absolutely. And speaking of authorities, I mean, of course, since you mentioned, I'm going to take your word, police is not playing their part, but amazing, like Eidi Foundation is doing a great job. You just have to call them if you see any stray dogs and if you're afraid of them. Without hurting them in front of you, they're going to take them into custody and take care of them. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, we're heading out to a short break. Yes. And when we come back, we're going to talk about something that Shahzad is really passionate about.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that because there are people who are actually joining me from my university, ladies and gentlemen, but followed. But we're actually not going to head to the break straight away. We're actually going to share a trailer, Secret Life of Pets, and then we'll go towards the break. And then when you guys will come back, we'll talk about technology updates. All right?
Wow.
Good morning. Let's do that.
Welcome back to World This Morning with Shahzad Khan and Shaza Hashmi, ladies and gentlemen, where in the first segment we spoke about protecting animals, taking care of them, respecting their existence and rights as well.
Yeah, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to talk about technologies which can actually help people do that. So this is something which we really
I
need
like the linking.
which we really wanted to talk about. And the best part, I'm very proud today that I've always been mentioning about my university. And I went to Air University in Islamabad. And back in the days when I went to Air University, everybody used to make fun. Oh,
Why?
ye kya naam hai, ye kya naam hai. But now, ladies and gentlemen, okay, look at that. Air University has actually produced one of the finest products in the world, which is right in front of you. But other than that, the best part of it is that this is the third time in a row that they're actually hosting technology Olympiad in their university.
Wow.
And 110 universities from all over Pakistan are actually participating. There are different categories. And I feel wonderful about my university today. And it's great.
What is a Tech Olympiad?
Okay, so just like, ladies and gentlemen, other Olympiads which are being hosted by alums and, other universities, so what they do is that they're supposed to get students from all universities who are actually going to pitch in their ideas in the given categories, and the ones who win are actually going to get a sponsor or probably something for their final project, and they will get some good grades as well.
Wow.
But other than that, on a larger scale, ladies and gentlemen, this was something which was very important, and it's because of the fact that Pakistan's economy based on agriculture is not going to last forever. For example, if they make an iPhone, all we have to do is probably export our truck full of wheat. But it's not going to work out eventually. So we actually needed this kind of advancement in our institutions. We wanted them to be in line so that we are on a progressive note. We are moving towards where the world's going as well. Absolutely. So thank you very much, Air University, for giving us Technology Olympiad as well, and to talk about all of this. Ladies and gentlemen, with me, I have Manager Operations. Ladies and gentlemen, she's none other than Miss Amal Khan. Hi, how are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have people from my own university. I feel excited. Yeah, that's great. Alongside Miss Amal, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been joined by somebody who is by profession becoming an engineer, but spends the most of the time in the business department. He's none other than Mr. Fasih Ahmed, and he's the president, AirTech 2019. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I am fine.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. Last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Director Operations AirTech 2019, Mr. Usama Iqbal. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Thank you very much for joining us. So very quickly, wonderfully, let's get started. What's happening in the university?
All right, let me give you an overbrief.
Go
Then
ahead.
I'd like the kids to go ahead for it. Frankly speaking, AirTech is one of the flagship events Air University hosts every year. And this is the 4th year, mashallah, that they're going on board. It's a technical Olympiad, and then they go under 5 different categories where they have events. So it's your everyday life converged with the technical aspects that are over there. Now, every year the kids come up with a topic where they want to link their entire findings and their work. So this year they're working on climate change. Now,
that's
to ensure,
amazing.
yes, so to ensure that pre-hand, the kids have been having seminars, in-house seminars, and yesterday we conducted the AirTech seminar to actually inaugurate AirTech 19, where Zartaj Gul, Minister of Climate Change, actually chaired the event. So the children came up with solutions and recommendations, and we had a lot of fraternity from SDPI, Arid Agriculture, etc., where they gave their input, and now the children are going to try drafting a policy for change and recommendations from our end.
That's amazing.
So the events aren't just technical, they actually have some free fall and some connection with what is the state need at the moment. At our times, we had social affairs, we had events, etc. going on, but we always had this bifurcation of university academia and the market itself. So in order to bridge those gaps, universities are now actually coming up with these opportunities.
Well, it's a brilliant idea, but very quickly, before I ask any other question, just wanted to ask you, do you still have to wear ties in university?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
It's a compulsion.
Yeah, because I think that Air
In summers
University
it
actually
goes
gave me
away.
the sense how to, dress up. But other than that, at times it was a headache because every time, anybody will see you, it's a fine, 500, 200 or 500 rupees as well. But very quickly, what's the participation from Air University's end? Because it's 110 universities. What is Air University involved in?
Well, it's Pakistan's largest technical Olympiad that we host in Pakistan, because all of the more than 110 universities are engaged, and more than 150 ambassadors from all over the Pakistan are engaged in this project. We have a technical Olympiad and non-technical Olympiad programs in this AirTech 19.
Okay.
We have some mechanical, electrical, CS, computer science,
Maths, physics.
physics, and we have in first time in the history of Pakistan we have a cyber security program.
Wow.
Only in Air University we have a cyber security program in Air University.
Yeah.
So we engage the people from all over the Pakistan, from Karachi, Balochistan, KPK, is combined and engaged in this AirTech 19.
Okay, well,
Wow, that's amazing. Now moving on to you, this is the fourth time that this is happening?
Yeah, it's
And
basically
this has
it's the
started
fourth
already?
time. Yeah, fourth time we are hosting this technical Olympiad, and last time, 3 times I have been in the hierarchy too.
Okay.
And this time I'm the director of operations.
Wow.
And Fassi was the joint secretary last time, and this time he's been president.
Yeah.
So we are moving forward like we. Okay, we are moving forward like we come up with the different participants, and we show them that they can compete with other participants, and technically and non-technically too.
All right.
And they make robots, and usually they compete with each other. So this builds up the leadership qualities between them, and they prove their worth in their technical field as well.
All
as
right, so you're
management.
saying there are new inventions and initiatives sort of that they bring on board, and this time staying under the banner of climate change. Can you share 1 or 2 examples of what's going
And
on?
before you share that, who do you think is actually going to win this time around? Yeah, because we every year there have been winners as well. So before you even answer that, who actually won for the last 3 years, and who do you think is going to win this year? Did we actually win any title?
Yeah, basically we won RoboLines last time.
Okay.
And RoboWar last time we won.
Wow.
And overall the winner was IST University last time, and this time I think Air University will inshallah win this competition.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
good.
We hope so.
All right, so ma'am, to explain to everyone out there the type of projects that are coming in under the banner of climate change, share some of them.
All right, some of the projects we can't actually share them because they're going to be events that are happening there
All
on place,
right,
right?
all right.
But the events are basically catering what do you call it, daily life emissions into it. So like, how do we do it? Our Vice Chancellor gave us a very nice example. He's like, at his era, probably you would remember, Reader's Digest used to be a huge thing. So what are you going to do? Just switch off the tap when you're brushing, while you're shaving, while you're taking a shower, etc. So we've incorporated that into their events. They're going to have the arenas over there. It's very funny. It's got everything. The decor itself will have recycled waste. You'll have plastic.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're going to be incorporating that. We'd like you to come and visit it.
We'd love
Just
to.
giving a little.
I even wanted to come yesterday when I actually saw the invitation from Air University in my office.
It will be
and I
our
was
honor
like,
to
I
have
should
you
go.
there.
It's my university, and then I thought, okay, probably it's a bit of showing off as well. But now since you've mentioned about it, we'll definitely
No,
come.
the
And
kids have actually
ladies and
really done a lot
gentlemen,
of
I've
work.
always been an ambassador. I've always been the spokesperson for this, and I think that it's a dream coming true. And Shiza, I feel so amazing that finally we're actually getting heard that this is what Pakistanis actually needed to do to
Right.
bridge the gap in between universities and the organizations which actually require that kind of technology. And finally, we're doing it, and it's great. The feeling is awesome.
It's absolutely amazing. And to look at the things that you've shared, you're actually engaging and taking on board and even creating responsible citizens of the state. Because not everything the government can do. There are things that we need to do on individual level.
It's like taking your own step forward. Like every drop counts. So we want the kids to be empowered. No matter we've done it at our age, it's their time to shine now.
Exactly, yeah, and it's great. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. So if you back in my days, if you were able to score GPA more than 3.5, the university actually gave you scholarships as well.
Yeah, mine
and I was awarded in my life. While in university, I was awarded 4 scholarships. I'm very happy about it.
Wow.
And then gradually, since
Impressive.
everybody was scoring about 3.5, they said that we cannot give scholarships to too many people, so only the top 10 are going to get it. But it's great. And but there's one more thing which I wanted to ask before we wrap up the segment. It's wonderful the things that you guys are doing. That while I was there, so the kids from the engineering department, they actually made a car which was very fuel efficient. They even made a motorbike. But the university never let them take them back home, But they always have made sure to keep all of those products which the kids have produced by themselves and with their own money. Why does the university do that?
I can't comment on that.
No, you should. You should. You're the manager of student affairs. Come on, please.
I don't
Speak a
really
little
know
about
that. Frankly speaking, I don't have a insight on those projects particularly, but there's some projects which are like showcasing and owning as the kids and the university's mutual.
That's great. But
because
if
the
it's
final
mutual,
year
they're
projects,
actually students should be allowed to take them back
they
home.
should be, and I'll definitely go back and give the suggestion
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
That's nice.
because all of those things which are actually produced and are inside the university. I know I love my university, but for every university, kids put all the money from their pockets together.
Yes.
They spend days and nights, and then towards the end, when the project passed, they got their grades. The university actually does not let them take their products away. So please do not do that. this is one way or the other forgery. This is hostile takeovers over products which the students have made by themselves from their own money. So they have the right to keep them.
I mean,
Am
I
right?
don't understand what you're going to do taking it home if you've made an fuel-efficient engine.
No,
or
what are
something.
they going to do keeping it in the
I mean,
university?
first of all, it's an
not going to
example,
be
it's a
maintained
model for
anyways.
the upcoming students, of course, and then we can talk about
Normally
it.
they
This was
display it
just
at
one.
other events, that's what I know.
Yeah.
I don't know about this particular two things. I think you have a small connection to it, but I'll go back and find out today.
Sure, that's great.
All right, that's night, ladies and gentlemen. And when is this ending? How many days are left?
It's
It's a 3-day event,
days,
so
yeah.
it's going to continue from today. Today's the opening,
Okay.
and then it's going to go till Sunday. We
All
do
right.
have some other events in the middle. We have a concert, we have a movie night, we have
Are
a
we
techno
invited?
show.
Who's
Yes.
coming in? Who's coming in for the concert?
Sahir Ali Baga is coming.
Sahir Ali Bagga. Oh, he's a dear friend. Okay, so I'll probably jump in. When is he coming? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, 7 o'clock onwards.
All right,
that's
and this
great.
is open only for the participants?
Yes.
All right, that's amazing. So,
And guests.
And
It's
guests
open for
also.
public now?
Yes,
Yeah.
only for public.
It's a public event.
Public
The
event.
concert is a public event.
all right, so social events are public, but
Yeah.
the competitions itself
Competitions
are
are
for the
only for
participants.
मैं आऊँगा यार कल इंशाल्लाह।
ठीक है।
ठीक है, मुझे मेरा भी number ले लेता हूँ, फिर हम discuss कर लेंगे. But that's great. You know, it'll be so much fun to go back to your university
And get a
that
lot of
too when your
attention.
friends actually singing. Well, that's great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so
You guys are doing a wonderful job, and may the best university win. You know, it's not that that since I'm from Air Universities, I want Air University to win in the first place. But even if you guys do not, we're actually going in the right direction. This is what everybody wanted to do. For everybody who's out there, yeah, we are growing, we are prospering, and we are going to be a better country in this world.
Inshallah,
I'm
of
loving it.
course. If there's anything you need to write to us, write on our Facebook page with the name of
Well, this morning.
on Twitter,
Well, this morning with Audi G.
Daily Motion or YouTube,
Well, this morning. Well, this morning.
and repeat. You can catch
5
that.
past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.